Ash, you are not cool. You steal items. Hate. What the hell? Private Sigma by Celeb. What the fuck? What did I stumble upon? What are you doing? Why is it nighttime? Oh my god. Skylar takes the lead for the first time today with 31 seconds left in the game. They needed a field goal, but they got the best possible outcome they could have. 31-27, 31 seconds left. 3 timeouts. Ollie, touchdown. That's what they need. Kick is up. Squib it. Up. Spin moves, breaks one to the left. He gets to the territory that they need to. He's got it! Touchdown, Ollie! Also, at the same time, I can back up a little bit. Does that show my legs? Here we go. You got a full... Look at that.
Would you keep your hands to yourself?
The fuck's this thing doing here? I didn't mean to throw it. I didn't mean to throw it that far. What the fuck? Man. It'll come back. It'll come back. So yeah. Oh, good God. I realize that transition is loud. Woo. That's the transition I go for because I'm not really. This is like a scene that I used to use quite a lot, and then I never really used it ever since. So this is what I'm probably going to use for when I'm talking sports, mainly sports, I guess. Yeah, today I'm mainly going to be talking about sports. So I decided to make myself a little bit of a different place for me to sit here and talk about it because, I don't know, really. I just think it looks cool. I just think it looks kind of neat, you know? Got the little TV right next to me, stuff like that. I think that's kind of, sports are in my league now. Hell fucking yeah. Like, okay, I reluctantly talk about sports on stream because I feel like I am in a terrible spot to talk about sports. And what I mean by that is because I don't feel like I know a bunch of people that know anything really about sports except me and, like, one other person. At least to my knowledge. So, like, I don't really talk a whole lot about sports because it's one of those kinds of passions that I like to put to the side because anytime I try to talk about it as a VTuber, I don't think that goes well together, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mesh well. But I don't really think of myself as a VTuber, just more of, or like in the sense that, you know, like when you look at other VTubers, they're like all anime, they're all like, you know, Japan like stuff like J-pop or whatever. I'm not really like that. I'm not really like that. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say I don't really know anything about it or talk, like, you know, it's not that I just don't mainly make it stuff that I talk about. I like to, like, talk about anything other than, like, that kind of stuff. I'm like the opposite. I like to sit and I like to be, like, just talking mad shit about anything. Like, any sport team or any sport. I may cover football, or I am going to cover football. That's the reason why I'm streaming this today. But I may also talk about other sports too, because I just feel like talking about sports today. Like, again, it's always been a passion of mine ever since I was a little primordial. It was always my, like, passion. Okay, mainly because of my family. My family, my family loves sports. They still do. They still do. But not necessarily as much anymore, really. Like, I go crazy with sports. Like, I really get into it. I really like just like a history of sports. I may not be the biggest history nerd. Like, I've never been a history nerd in general. So when it comes to sports, it's kind of the same boat there too. We're gonna have to grown up, have love for them, especially for soccer and hockey. See, for me, I enjoy hockey, like watching it. Like I can sit back and watch a game and be like entertained by it. Soccer is one of those rare instances where I've talked about this before, but soccer is literally the only sport I could think of, maybe baseball, where the at-home viewing experience is not the greatest. But I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just saying that it's like, that's an experience that you should do in stadium or like on the pitch or on the field. Okay? Because the experience there makes it 1,000 times better than the on-field product. Okay, especially baseball. Baseball is a really like, I guess, well, at one point it was. They're trying to not make that anymore, but like baseball used to be like a sport where like since it had a lot of downtime, you had to like either mainly use it as a background sport to watch or not really like get too invested in it or whatever. And realistically, okay, so for soccer, I'm mainly talking about the fact, like, the international stadiums. Internationally, okay, like, that experience would be insane, okay? Like, I have seen a lot of soccer games, or a lot of soccer clips, and it just feels like the whole, like, arena has just such a vibe to it that is unmatched even in today's sports, okay? I've never experienced many sports live, like in a stadium. I've never been to a football game. I've never been to one of those before, because I don't live near one, or at least I do technically, but I don't think I would ever have the chance to go because I'm not going to watch two teams I don't care about play a game, even if it's the NFL, you know what I'm saying? So I never fucking want to drive so far to see the Colts play in a home game. I mean, like, okay, I'll say that, but it depends on how much I love the team, okay? And I've said this before, and this kind of, the whole, I guess another reason why my sparked interest for sports, or at least streaming it and talking about it, happened more and more and more, was because I've started to get more and more, like, motivated and happy about my favorite team in the NFL, which is the Indianapolis Colts. I've been a huge fucking fan of theirs for almost... Let's see here. Let me actually look this up. What was it? 30... Not 36. It was 41, wasn't it? Ha! Knew it! Alright, I knew it off the top of my head there. Okay. Yeah. So ever since Super Bowl 41, which was... Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit more... like 15 years. I've been a fan of the Indianapolis Colts for a little over 15 years now. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but you realize that I'm also not a very... not to age myself, but also not age myself in a way. I'm not super duper old, but when I say 15 years, that's still a majority of my life. Like, a huge majority of my life. taken up by liking a team that went to the Super Bowl twice and won one and lost the other, and it hasn't been to the Super Bowl since 2009. They bring me nothing but pain. I like them, but it also is very painful to watch them play, especially the last few years. So I've been starting to get, like, actually, like, invested in the team more, like, actually starting to enjoy them more and all that, and it's been nice, actually. But I need to change this music because it's not playing as often. Give me 1 second. Let's just see what this one sounds like. What kind of fucking music is that? Oh, I'm going through some of these real quick. Man, these fucking songs are not great. Where's the other one? This'll work, I guess. I'm just hoping my internet can also hold up today. There may be an ad that plays on this one. Aha, I was right. How the fuck am I getting an ad for Indiana University? Go fuck off. Go fuck off. I don't ever want to go to college. I'm not that stupid. Anyways. Real quick, before I get into more talking here about sports, I do apologize for the fact that my stream yesterday just came to a dead stop in the middle of playing. For some reason, my internet has just not been good at all. Like, I cannot play on stream for like 2 hours a lot of times because it's like there's like a strict limit. I can't stream for like 2.5 hours, and when I do, it's not even my internet, it's just something just goes wrong, and then my bitrate drops, and sometimes it flatlines at 0, and then I can't stream anymore because of that. So I don't know if it's my internet, I don't know if it's my equipment, I don't know. Like, this is becoming a very common thing, and I have no idea why. I legit wouldn't be able to tell you why. I've even had to downgrade a little bit of the quality for it's probably not super duper noticeable today. It probably isn't super noticeable, but the quality is a little bit lacking today because I'm kind of just wanting to see if I can lower the quality and not have to suffer the consequences of streaming and having a very laggy stream because of my terrible, no good internet. But I'm doing well. I've had a good morning so far. I just didn't like how yesterday I was in the middle of getting the progress done in San Andreas, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Like this fucking thing. Alright, music, you're really getting annoying here. Man, I hate dealing with so much scuff right now. How's that? Will that actually play some fucking music and actually stay? And not, like, lag so much? I'll keep my eyes on it. Nope, there it went. It lagged again. Alright, cool. I was thinking it wouldn't lag, but no, it's becoming a fucking problem all around. I don't know how to fix that. I really don't know how to fix that. I don't know how I can fix that. That's not something I can fix here. I don't even know. No, Jesus Christ, okay, stop. Whatever. Let me find something here that actually will play. I was gonna play that on my OBS and then play. I guess I'll just have to do this thing. Guess I have no choice but to just do a little bit of this and that to make it work. Alright. I wanted to listen to my own music, but I guess I just won't be able to do that. For now at least. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. It happens a lot where I'm trying to like stream something and then I stream for like 2-3 hours and it just ends up falling. The internet just falls and it's just painful. It's painful, but I don't think that'll happen today just because I mean I looked at my internet today and it looked great and it looked fine and I'm like, okay, fine, as long as OBS doesn't shit the bed, then I don't think the internet will shit the bed. Okay, I can expect it maybe once a week, maybe once every other week to see that kind of thing happen, but it keeps happening almost every other day and it's kind of getting a little annoying. Let's see. I guess I'll also go for a quick few updates here while I'm here. I said this yesterday, but as soon as I was about to really start talking about it, that's when my internet decided to die. But I might actually start publishing schedules again, because I've been feeling really great lately after settling into my new job. After settling into my new job, I've realized that I've been enjoying like streaming again, especially because it's the morning. And, you know, I don't really necessarily like sleeping during the day, but I like streaming during the mornings, and I like everything else outside of falling asleep and missing the whole, like, day, pretty much, and then sleeping away that day. And so, but I like working overnights. It's chill. It's a nice, it's a vibe, and I enjoy it, and it's not too bad. Jesus Christ. Stuff keeps falling on my desk. And it's not too bad of a, of like a job itself, because I've been enjoying, I guess I've been enjoying work. I don't know, I really didn't think I would ever say that, but it's kind of there, you know, like I kind of, it's better than what I used. It's better than my last job being at a gas station, but now that I've done that and I've kind of been like enjoying streaming a little bit more, now that I've kind of accepted where I'm at in a way, I've kind of just like said, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I think I could commit. Maybe I could commit to a schedule again. I stopped doing them at one point because I was not good at consistently streaming. So whenever I would post a schedule, it would be like at least once or twice a week where I'd be all like, oh, I'm going to cancel the stream and move it to another date because of, you know, just not feeling it or whatever. And that I feel like I can at least maybe do a little bit. I'm going to test the waters, just do it sometime next week and see where things go from there. I'll post the schedule probably later in the week. I'll probably post it on Sunday because I don't have a stream. I'm not gonna stream on Sunday. Because I don't really, I don't know. I'm not a huge like streamer on like Sundays, but because I'm also such a huge sports fan and stuff like that, that's also expected, because at least it should be expected, because I don't like streaming on Sundays when I'm also just like, because I like to watch sports and just kind of like get invested in it and that be that. and I don't have to like sit and like have to deal with the internet or deal with the stream or deal with, because like if I had to sit here and deal with the scuff of streaming and all of it, and everything's just not running right, or nothing is smooth, nothing is running great, it'll just throw off my entire mood, and I'm not like going to be able to pay attention to the games. So I like to at least not, do that. I might do it once or twice sometime soon, but yeah, don't be surprised if I never really stream on Sundays, for the time being, at the very least, for the time being. Okay. I say that, but I also have some other thing that's going to come up here with a big announcement here on Sunday as well, Sunday afternoon. This Sunday afternoon, I'll have something that I want to showcase and share. That'll be on Twitter. It'll also be, actually, I'll have like a little clip of it on YouTube. It might not be Sunday, it might be on Monday, next Monday. But yeah, there's that as well. I might also try to do more Euro Truck Simulator sometime this week. I might end up doing I might get back in Skyrim as well, because that was fun. And then I like kind of just didn't play it again after a bit. I also have a few other games too that I would like to play as well. I know I have 2 other games because one of my friends gifted me a couple games on Steam early, and so now I have 2 extra games added to my list of already a big fucking list of games that I have to, I want to play at some point. At some point I want to play. I think that's pretty much it for the most part. For the updates. I know there's some other small stuff too that I want to talk about, but I don't know. Yeah. Like I said before, if you couldn't tell by the title of both streams, I'm a sports guy. I like to talk sports. I like to kind of just go all over the place to talk about sports. Mainly football, because that's been where my biggest passion has been the last, I guess, couple months. But I guess I should also say that I've also enjoyed watching really any other kind of sport, to be honest. Like I said, I grew up in a family where sports was like a big thing, I guess. I wasn't myself an athlete. Well, I say that, but I did play football for a few years and basketball. But I never really went crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I played it in my school, but there was no like. Once I got into high school, I kind of stopped doing that. Because the thing about me growing up was that every other kid in my grade and stuff like that would become more like, especially the athletes, they would grow and they would get more bulky, they would get more like more athletic, essentially. And I just never did. I just never had that. I just kind of I stayed where I kind of was, and I slowly just kind of built over time. But the other kids were like, they were like immediate. Like you look at them 1 month and they would be like, whatever. You look at them the next month and it's like, Jesus Christ, they took fucking steroids, it feels like. Whereas for me, it just felt like I could never, I couldn't match that athleticism. So I didn't really do any sports outside of maybe a thing or two of gym class. But I never really did anything outside of that because I just never was able to. I was just not able to rekindle the athleticism that I had anywhere, really. So I kind of just stopped doing sports, at least being in sports or whatever. I just kind of stopped doing that, but I also just kind of started watching more and more sports. I mean, it should be already noted that I am, like, a fan of, like, motorsports, like racing and stuff like that. That shit's awesome. Not much into, like, cars themselves, but, like, just rather I just like the fact that it's like, ooh, there's this car and it looks kind of cool, and it's zooming around a track, going left and right, and all that sort of stuff. I think that's kind of cool. I could never do that because my body's not built for that shit. But I think it's great. I think it's cool, you know? I think I would love to do something like that. Well, I mean, I wish I could, but I never could. But yeah, it's cool. I enjoy it. It's there's that. Baseball, I've never really played baseball, and I've never really watched baseball. Like, I don't really have like a favorite team in baseball. I just either I watch what's on if it's on. Or I just follow like the there's a lot of like accounts on Twitter, or like I guess I just follow sport outlets like ESPN and CBS, I guess. I don't know. Do they do sports? I know like I used to follow some from them, but I don't know. I don't even know if they still do. I kind of just follow through ESPN and what people on Twitter are talking about, and that's about it in terms of like, baseball. And the same thing kind of goes with basketball too. Never really got into like watching it. I was fine like with playing it, and then like, on my off time, that's cool. But I guess the main sports that I'm into would be racing, football, and wrestling. Those are like the main three, like the big three. Okay, there's like others sprinkled around here and there, but obviously I wouldn't say not as huge compared to those others that I just talked about. I enjoyed my time playing basketball and football and stuff like that, but again, just not really so much of a viewer nowadays. So whenever I talk a lot about sports, I'm mainly just talking about like football or racing or anything that's like sprinkled in between, like sprinkled that's kind of huge there as well. Hockey. I don't know, like I haven't really been able to, I don't know, like I've been wanting to watch it, but there's like not a whole lot of opportunity for me to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that it's like, it's not really localized here where I'm from. Like there's not a lot of TV channels that cover it, so I have to like go out of my way to try and watch it. But I know a lot of my friends are huge into hockey, and they've been getting me into watching it more and more, which is nice. It's nice to have friends who also have like sports on the mind and stuff like that. That helps out a lot too. But I've been having just a lot of thoughts from a lot of football thoughts, really, because of what's been happening the last few weeks. And I mean, again, I don't really want to, call myself a big sports guy, but I do like watching a lot of different sports and all that. So it's just, like, I can't watch all the sports, but I do watch as much as I can, and follow up on as much as I can. I'm gonna lose my voice here today too, which is not great, so thank God for water. But yeah, that's pretty much what my experience is in terms of like the like sports and stuff like that. There's like other sports too that I'd like to like get more into. I saw a lot of baseball in Japan when I visited, because it's like the fucking massive thing over there. It's way massive over in Japan. And that was kind of, well, it was kind of something I really had to get used to, was the fact that like the fucking like main thing that was on the TV most nights was baseball. Okay. They had some MLB stuff on too, like some of the early spring matchups, which was kind of nice too. I did see the finale to the WBC, the World Baseball Classic. I did see that, and that was fucking crazy. That was fucking crazy. But yeah, that's like the extent of my last like that's kind of like the last time I've really had a like baseball hit in terms of watching it. Like I would not I haven't really turned it on ever since then. I've just kind of like I'll if anything crazy happens and it's crazy enough to pop on my Twitter feed, I get a glimpse of it, but I really don't watch it as often as other people do, just mainly because it's just not my thing. Like when I watch football and stuff like that, the I guess the semi-fast pacedness of it kind of helps me out, and that's kind of like why I like racing and wrestling as well, is the fact that they are pretty quick in terms of their pace. So that also kind of helps out a lot. That's really why I watch them a lot. Let me see here. I wish I could get into hockey more. That'd be great. But again, hockey is just not something that is easy for me to like watch. There's not a lot of channels that pick it up and do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of sucks. Like, that sucks. I really wanted to like get into it and really want to like I don't really have like a team either. That's another thing too, is I really can't I don't know. I'm not much of like a I have a hard time picking teams for a lot of sports that I really don't like care about. It's kind of like the same with college football, because I could go for the nearest team, but a lot of the times I don't even know if I'm going to be like that committed to like get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like for the college football teams, I usually like just be like, I'll look at what's around here and be all like, oh, okay, they're playing. All right, they're playing. And I don't really just... I follow them. I look at scores, but I really don't like watch like my teams play, because it's kind of hard to like do so and be committed to it as much. But I do like to watch some of the big time plays. Like, I will watch a lot of the top 25 teams in college play. Thankfully, they're labeled. Thank fucking God they're labeled. But yeah, like easily whenever you want to get into like college football or something like that, easily just keeping track of the top 25 is really all you can do. Because anything other than that, you're going to be like going down a rabbit hole, and it's not the greatest. Because college football has a lot of fucking teams. College football has a lot of teams, and it's kind of ridiculous, but I guess understandable. Yeah, my family was huge in the into the NFL. That's kind of how I got into it, was because of them. They would fucking put games on, and the reason why I became a Colts fan is because of my mom, who was a Colts fan. We watched one of the first games I remember really watching was the Super Bowl where the Colts won, and I was like, holy fuck, this is like fun to watch. And then I was just like, okay, since they're really good, I'll pick them. So that's kind of how I got into that. When it comes to racing, that just came, I guess. That just kind of came because of some of my other friends who was just like, they would just show me a few like clips of like cars just zooming by and all that stuff. It's just going like crazy around like a circuit. I was like, oh fuck, this is kind of fun. This is actually kind of cool. And yeah. That's just kind of how like that love for racing happened. It's kind of the same thing with wrestling. That just kind of happened because my friends were like, hey, you know, you seen this kind of thing from wrestling? You know, like two guys are fighting. What? That's just kind of how that happened. Let me do this real quick. With that out of the way, I guess I can get into some of my bigger passions here. Where the fuck is it? Okay. Thank you, Code, for the follow. Find my thingy. This is not going well, is it? There it is. Alright, cool. Let's get rid of this on the screen. Let's change it to something else, shall we? Boom. There we go. There we go. Well, that's not the greatest looking scale, isn't? I could probably make that just a tad bit better, couldn't I? Let me make that just seamlessly a little bit better. I might have to zoom out the web page. I might have to zoom out the web page. I really don't want to, though. I really don't want to. See if that makes it any better. That did not make it any fucking better. Alright, let's zoom out the web page. Woohoo! The rules are, don't be a dick, pretty much. That's pretty much the rules. Although that's pretty easy to follow, or at least I hope it is. This is actually not a good thing. That's not good. There we go, let's try this. I'm trying to make this to where I can not have to resize the photo on OBS. Well, that's not much better, but it's kind of getting there. That's kind of not much better, but like I said, it is getting there. I can work with this. That'll work. All right. All right. I'm curious what the other soundtrack is playing right now. Let me go find that real quick. Boom. I like this one a little bit more. Wasn't almost pretty good. Yeet. Nice and chill, nice and chill. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Alright. Like I said, one of my biggest passions, at least for the last couple months, has been the football world, at least more so the professional football world, also mainly the National Football League. Oh, hey Air, how's it going? Nice to see you over on Twitch. But yeah, this is kind of how I've kind of segued into talking about the NFL again for the second day in a row. Kinda. I say kinda because I talked about them, like I talked about it a little bit already yesterday, but I really didn't talk a whole lot about it because I was like, I really want to get more into it, right now, I guess. Also, hello, Fluffy. Like the AFL. Oh, I know of the AFL. I remember watching a lot of the AFL for a while. The Aussie. There's a few different AFLs if I remember correctly. Or at least I know there's like the Arena Football League, which I've seen a few times, which is it was kind of enjoyable, not gonna lie. I'm gonna do, I don't know, like this one's been like very touch and go. Oh well, let's do this. I'm gonna do a little swap of the BGM. May not sound like a swap of the B. Well, okay, that's kind of why I didn't want to do that. That's kind of why I did not want to do that. So why did it go? Oh, I'm an idiot. I might be dumb. I actually did swap the BGM. There, that might actually work a little bit better now. Or at least I'm hoping it does. There we go. Aussie rules is like rugby, but more about the mid-quarter different goals. I have heard about that. I've heard about that. I don't think I've ever seen anything from it, like other than maybe a few clips on YouTube. But I definitely have heard of the Aussie rules side of football. Kind of unfortunate because I do like to see some like international sports and stuff like that. Like y'all have ever seen any like it's kind of weird. So I don't know if anybody has seen actually like clips from like Japan playing like NFL rules football. Like that is a complete acid trip. Also, thank you for the follow, Air. Yeah, it is a complete acid trip. Thinking about, like, I gotta find it. Hold on. I want to see if I could find this real quick. I don't know. Is that a good? What the hell? What in the world? Okay. The fuck am I? What am I doing? Do I have a expired window capture. I thought I didn't. Oh my god, my voice. Let me find it real quick. I guess I'm just gonna have to put this here real quick. Firefox. There we go. Oh crap, why did I do that? Okay, hold on. Let me actually put it here. Put it there. Okay, cool. I should have put this beforehand, but I never did. So, like, I don't know if anybody has actually seen, like, full-fledged, like, NFL style football in Japan, but like it's an actual thing. Like this is an actual thing that happened. And I don't know how I feel about it. It's actually kind of crazy. I generally don't know what to think of this. Welcome back, good. There's that. Like I've seen this recommended to me like a few times, and I was just like, I didn't know this was like actually a thing. Like I knew that they know a little bit of a thing or two about this because like some, like I know that there is like a few of the like early, what I call them early? Who the fuck is calling me? Alright, anyways, Jesus Christ. Weird fucking number that just called me. Alright, anyways, I know that like there's a few early PS2 Madden games that are fully translated and dubbed into Japanese. So like they were sold into like the Japanese market, stuff like that. And it was kind of weird playing through them because like I've played a lot of Madden and I never thought that they had games in Japanese. Like I know they sold the games over there, but I didn't think they sold them like the way that I found. Like I expected them, like a lot of their other games and stuff like that, a lot of stuff, like I want to say most of them are just basically like, yeah, just a English game, but you know, ported over into Japanese so it works on Japanese consoles. That's mainly about it. Okay, and then basic back tie. Yeah, I like this design. It's always been one of my favorite designs. But no, like I found like a few copies of like, I don't know, it might have been like I think like Madden 01, Madden 02, and I think Madden 03 were all translated into Japanese and then fully dubbed into that. But like nothing ever since. Not that I could find. This game also, like, I don't know, how crazy does this game get? Fourth quarter, 3:40 to go, 7-13. All right. 15 seconds left, fourth quarter. That was not a good pass. That was not a good pass. Oh my god. Okay. AFL in the 80s was wild. Fight every second game. That is nuts. Yeah, that was basically that, because like that was recommended to me, like that got recommended to me somehow, and I was just like, I didn't know that existed. Oh yeah, it does exist. It is a thing. I never thought that was like a thing, but I don't know, like, does that... I don't know if there's still any... I know there's, like... some American... I'm entirely too sure. Japan College Football National Championship 2021. What the fuck? I didn't know that go that far. I didn't think it goes that far. Do I watch F1? I do not. I know I'm saying this because like I do not fucking understand how F1 is very popular. Like, I like motorsports. I like seeing all kinds of different racing and a lot of different stuff and all that sort of stuff. I like that. I like racing. It's great. But every time I turn on F1, I know that it's pretty much like done in like lap 1 or lap 2. It's like, woo. Such a long race, but no positions really change. And it's just like, I don't really find that enjoyable. I just don't find it as enjoyable as like any like sprint race or something like that I would normally see like on a normal afternoon or whatever. Like if it's like a 1 hour sprint or whatever, like a half-hour sprint, okay, that's fine. But like an F1 race just feels like it takes forever and nothing happens. Would like it if they didn't cheat. I mean, like, I would like it if there was at least more than one competitive car a week. It would be definitely cool if there would be, like, at least more than one competitive car a week. I don't know. That's just my thing though. Like I don't really have a whole lot of love for F1. It's just it's not something I enjoy a whole lot. like you know, it's just one of those deals where it's like if I have to enjoy the whole, because like I've said this before to like some of my other, not even some other friends, just like people who have enjoyed F1. They're like, oh my god, you have to like enjoy the behind the scenes stuff, like the mechanical side of the F1. It's like I don't care about the mechanical side of F1. I care about the racing in what F1's supposed to be, which is racing. Why should I like be all like, oh my god, you see what, you know, McLaren or Alfa Romeo did in the mechanic garage? It's like, no, I did not see it because I don't care. Like, I don't care about that side. I just care about the fact that it's like, hey, if they're on the grid and they're zooming around the track, I'm fine with that. That's what I like to see. And then when it's like, okay, here they go. They're off and they're running. All right, turn 1. There goes the leader, and he's gone for the rest of the time. All right. I don't care so much about the fact that it's like, oh my god, look at the fact that they're like, you know, like, okay, strategy, that's fine. I like some strategy here and there where it's like, you know, they have to take the right tire cut. I like strategy. That's fun. You know, if you play smart, you win. I like that. Like, that kind of racing's fine. If you're playing it smart and you try to find a way to get an advantage on track by strategy or by whatever means necessary, as long as it's on the track, then that's fine. I do not care about that. Or like, I care about it in a way that it's like, that's fun. That's what brings me to the attention on the track. However, when it gets to the point where it's like, oh yeah, just run till you got to pit at lap like halfway and then go from the rest of there. It's like, okay, I wish I could just get invested in what's going on track then. But there goes one car, 3 seconds back, there's the other car, 5 seconds back, there goes the other car, 20 seconds. Here comes maybe a little pack of cars, but they ain't trying to pass anybody. It's so just I don't know. Out of all motorsports, I think F1 may be my least favorite to watch. Okay. Now, driving the cars, like I've played some F1 games and I've like driven in a lot of like I've driven a full-length Monaco race on stream before. Listen, the cars are fun to drive, but my god, it gets very like boring after like 2 laps. I'm just like, all right, cool. This is fun, but I'm not really doing anything special. I'm just kind of like zooming around a track, and that's woo. One thing I like about sports is there's a lot of strategy. Yeah, same here. It's like if the strategy comes down to like, you know, several different like impactful things, it's like, oh, cool strategy. I like this. That's cool. I like when strategy is used in sports. Or just anything, really. Strategy in anything. Give me just strategy in anything, and I'll gladly take that. As a, you know, like baseball. Like strategy in baseball. I mean, I don't really know much about that side of it. Like, I couldn't tell you shit about strategy in baseball. But when it happens, it's like, hey, that's kind of fun. I like that. They're trying to get an edge on their team or on their opponent. I like that. That's cool. That's great. That's awesome. You know, that's at least halfway fun. Soccer, I don't know what would be a strategy in soccer because my strategy is just fucking try to kick the ball into the net. But somehow that seems to be really hard to do. I've never been a huge fan of like soccer games that go like 95 minutes without a score. That's really about it. Like I get that there's low scoring games in the NFL. Okay, but even some of the lowest scoring games are at least halfway competitive in some capacity. And at least it's entertaining to watch sometimes. Whereas like it's just like anytime I watch a 0-0 game of soccer, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, what are they doing? Like, I don't know. Like, I hate to be like a hater of soccer or whatever because, you know, it's like, if you are a sports lover or whatever, that's what you got to love or like or be invested in it. You can't shit talk the game of soccer, and it's like, I'm sorry, but like I can't get invested in 90 minutes of kicking a ball 95% up the field, defending it to the other side, the other 95% of the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going all the way to the end, they're always kicking it over the net, or they're just whiffing on a kick. And it's like, wow, what's the final score after 95 intensive minutes of kicking the ball up and down a pitch? 0-0. Okay, alright, cool. Not even a lick of overtime, not even a shootout to at least make it interesting. Like, I get when shootouts happen, it, like, the only, like, good thing is, like, the overtime shootouts. Those are fun as hell to watch, but they only happen in, like, tournament championship games, not just casuals. It's just like, god fucking damn it, dude. Like, it's, like, I don't want to go to a soccer game and just, like, sit there and be all like, woo, for, like, 90 minutes when nothing's happening, and then be like, alright, cool, the game's over, I spent, like, $50 on a ticket and all drinks and food, maybe I would say upwards of $100, and the end result is no team winning. Cool. Cool. I'm glad I did that. Like, I'd rather see my team lose in a home game, but it being really competitive, than no team winning, and it being, like, even if it was competitive, it's not offensively competitive. I probably won't watch anything today for the AFL, just mainly because I've been wanting to talk about the NFL for a little bit, and and all that. I'll probably like look at it more here later, but I really want to like talk about the just a little bit of the NFL at the very least, because I have a lot of opinions over this past week, and I've been wanting to talk a little bit about them all. Because I watched a good majority of these games and stuff like that. I say a good majority. I did fall asleep, so I wasn't able to watch the later game, but looking at some of the games and stuff like that, I mean, I think that was probably a good thing. The fact that I missed out on the Cowboys and 49ers match, probably, can't get an answer to this. That's true. That's true. I'll probably watch some here later. But at this moment, I just kind of want to get through some of these here. Because like I said, the NFL is kind of like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say the number one for me, but it's definitely like just something I've been wanting to talk about too. I also have a couple, I thought about this too earlier. I want to go through some people's hot takes for, there it is. I want to go through some people's hot takes here. I'll post some pictures and stuff like that here soon. Am I studying clothing? No. No. I do not. No. It's like the only thing I don't really do at all is just I don't study clothing at all. Fashion's not my thing. Surprisingly. You'd be surprised with my fashion, like, opinions. Because I would have, like, none. I really don't have any. Like, if people are wearing clothes, cool. If not, cool. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. It's just like, okay. Like, fashion's not my thing. I never grew up in a situation where fashion's a thing. Or a heavy opinionated thing, I should say. Heavy opinionated or studied. One of the two. Maybe both at the same time. You never know. I do apologize if the BGM's cutting in and out. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't know if that'll change anything or not. I doubt it. Okay. Fair modern fashion shows were out of hand, like where the garbage bag go and just. Yeah, that's I shouldn't say I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised whatsoever by that. It's me to head to third hour. No worries, Air. Appreciate you popping in and lurking for a little bit. But I am going to go through some of these hot takes here momentarily. I just want to quickly run through these scores. This image has been on here for a little while, but I'm going to go through these scores real quick and go through some hot takes afterwards. So week 5 of the NFL saw not a whole lot of spectacular action compared to the last few weeks, but that's not saying anything negative, actually, because the last few weeks, a lot of the bigger news, at least for the most part, of the games, was a lot of big-time injuries and a lot of crazy comebacks, and blowouts, too. We did not see much of that, necessarily, this week. We saw a few big injuries. The injuries have kind of dimmed down a little bit, thankfully, for this week, and I don't know about how the rest of the year is going to go. I say that, but I'll talk more about my team here in a little bit, because there's still some injuries that happened there that did not go so well for me. But anyways, we'll start with the Thursday game, which is the first on the top of the list here, which had the Bears taking on Washington. I would say actually a classic rivalry. I don't know. I feel like that's an underrated rivalry in my opinion. The way that those two play each other very often, and it's kind of one or the other in terms of who can get the upper hand here. But for those unfamiliar with the Bears this year, I should say, it's been anything but great. They have been one of the worst teams in the NFL, but they didn't show that on Thursday. They just kind of went in, dismantled the Washington team, and kind of just, when you like looking at it blindly, you would think that the Bears are one of the top teams of this season. Like, they've just kind of been unlucky and lost like a lot of games coming into here, but no, like they've just been absolutely terrible. Like, they're one of the worst teams this season. I'd say one of the three, like, there's three teams I would say are the worst this season. It'd be the Bears, I would say the Giants. I don't even know if I would say the Giants. The Giants are pretty bad, but I wouldn't say they're the worst. I'll actually say the Bears, Panthers, and Broncos. Those three teams off the top of my head, they're not great. They are not great at all. Not great at all. So thank you for the stretch, by the way. Oh, okay. I also don't think the helmets really help spectacularly. I think they could be a lot better. But I don't know. I don't know a damn thing about making safe helmets. I just know that they are not great. They're not the greatest helmets in the world, I'll say that much. Let me take a look here. Let me just refresh that. That's probably gonna play a stupid ass ad. Yes, it did. This video is sponsored by Manscaped. No, it's fucking not. Ain't taking a fucking sponsorship any fucking day of the week. Anyways, yeah, the Bears just kind of went in and took care of Washington, and I don't know how that's going to shape up the rest of the season for Chicago, but I am not a huge, I've talked about this before, but everybody in Chicago was really hyping up this season to be one of, like, Justin Fields' greatest years, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were just hyping him all up to hell and back. It was like he's going to like completely, you know, make things happen for this team and take it to the Super Bowl or something like that. I don't know, but like, yeah, that didn't happen. It did not happen at all. So when you're sitting an abysmal record, I don't know what to believe from the Chicago faithful, other than a bunch of bullshit. So yeah, because of that, I've had no expectations for the Bears this season, and they're 1-4 right now. Woo fucking who? You won one game against Washington. You won one game against Washington. A team that has not been really that spectacular all season because they're kind of just there. Like, they're just a team. Like, they have really no identity, in my opinion. Okay, but there's that. Moving over to the Sunday games, we have the second London game of the year, which was the Jacksonville Jaguars, or in my opinion, in like 5 years, the London Jaguars taking on Buffalo. And it was a pretty... God, I watched this game live. It was not great. At all. Like, it was just... man. Oh my God. Was this game just... I don't want to say a drag to try and get through, but it definitely felt like Jacksonville had the upper hand the entire game. Even in the fourth quarter. They just could not. They could not be stopped at all by the Bills. They were just... They outmatched the Bills, but not necessarily on paper, I want to say. Like, Lawrence had a hell of a game, but actually, like, looking... Well, I would say on paper... like, looking into some of the stats, like, Lawrence and Allen, they were pretty similar. Okay. Allen had one more touchdown pass, but he also had an interception, whereas Lawrence had 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. I don't know. Like, I'm not huge on Lawrence, but I'm also not saying he's bad either. Like, Jacksonville hasn't had... They've been rough. They've been a bit on the rougher side of things here. And it just kind of showed back in like I think it was week 4, week 5. No, week 4 they did fine against the Falcons. But when they lost to Houston in week 3, that's when I was like, okay, Jacksonville might not be the best team in the AFC South. Now I was watching this game closely just because I wanted to see, because the Colts are facing against Jacksonville this weekend. So I wanted to see what that kind of a preview is going to be like. I'll get, I don't know what to expect. I really don't. Like, I think it's going to be a hell of a close game, maybe closer than their week 1 affair. But I don't know if Jaguars are going to win that game. I don't know. I might do some predictions here later too this week. I think Josh Allen, I've noticed this a lot watching Josh Allen play for the Bills. He struggles under pressure, I don't want to say like under pressure in terms of like play by like each play, like when he gets pressured by the defense. No, I'm saying like when he needs to make a play or make a drive happen, like if they're down by a couple points, if not several points, and scores and shit, he just struggles. He just struggles, and he just does not like understand. He does not understand what he's into, and then he makes a mistake, like the interception and stuff like that. The interception mainly happened because he was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna throw this ball up in the air. Someone's going to be down there, good or bad." And he does it almost every week. Whenever he's down behind in points or something like that, he's like, fuck it, chucks the ball down and makes it worse. I've noticed that several times over the course of like the last few years, where it's like he just struggles to like understand that if he wants to make this team get back in the lead or get back into the fight, he needs to like not make these mistakes and not just chuck it deep and hope for the best in a 1-on-1 or 1v2 situation. Because like what, in week 1 he threw like 3 interceptions, 3 or 4 of them, and like 2 of them were arm punts, as the term is called, where he just throws the ball deep down the field. I just really can't stream at all, can I? Because my internet just wants to tank. Oh my god. I don't know what the issue is. I really don't. Wish I knew what was going on with my internet, but I really don't. Am I safe to continue doing this stream, or is my internet gonna still continue to be a piece of shit? So one thing that I hate worst about the Jacksonville Jaguars is the fucking internet that I have to constantly deal with. Because I like to stream. I like to be able to sit here and just have a nice little conversation about something. But I can't because my internet's like, hey, fuck you. Almost all the time. Now I'm skeptical. Do I continue or do I give it a minute to see if it gets any worse? This is what stopped me from doing anything yesterday, or this literally stopped me from doing anything yesterday because it might be fine now. I would say it might be just a small hiccup in my internet, but again, I'm not too shocked that this happened on stream for the second day in a row. Great. Should I continue? I'm more so asking my internet than anybody else. Get real sick and tired of this, but you know, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's something outdated for my equipment or if there's just something outdated with my ISP and its brain cells. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I noticed my internet was hicking up a little bit, but I'm just going to run a couple speed tests here just in case. I'll get back into it here in just a second. Always funny how my download speeds are like, they're fine. No, the download speeds are completely fine. But it's when I do literally anything on in terms of the upload speeds that's like, okay, that's where it'll take a little bit. Okay. Okay, I don't know. I might be good. I might be good. I might be good. Right. Okay. I kind of expected it to happen with the background music. It just keeps like cutting in and out. But ironically, I don't know how, but ironically, when my internet starts to kind of like do a little bit of that oopsie whoopsie, now it's fine. Now the background music, never mind. I'll stop talking. I thought that was funny at first, and then it just immediately just was like, no, we're gonna stop. It muted itself. I don't know if it muted itself because the song ended, or if it muted itself because the never mind. Okay. Again, I'll stop talking. I'm not doing this on purpose. I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose. I am literally not doing this on purpose whatsoever. Okay. Here's waterfall. I don't like how you're still trying to use more bitrate than I'm trying to, you know. I literally have you set to like less than 4,000 for a reason, but yet you're trying to use 5,000 bitrate. I hate talking technical. You are going to go down. And you are going to stay down. Anyways, let's move on to another AFC South game, shall we? Let's get back on track here because, yeah. Because I know my internet's not going to be on track for the rest of the streams. I might as well try to make things maybe a bit quicker. Or at least I'll try to. Okay, next game up. Let's kind of go through this a little quickly, shall we? Let's actually do this. I want to see what this does. This is gonna look stupid, I bet. Not that. This. Yes. Where is it going? Well, now it doesn't even want to work anymore. Now it wants to show me this too. You didn't see that? Now this just doesn't want to work anymore. The images just don't want to work. There you go. There you go. Not want me to talk about football at all. Does it just not want me to talk about football at all? I just think that was funny. Like, am I the only one that thought that was funny? I don't know what to do. Like, I genuinely don't know what to fucking do at this point, man. Like, I'm like, okay, let's talk about something. Like, I'm actually gonna let's get this stream going. Nope. Holy crap, man. I don't know what to fucking do. I'm trying so hard to, like, not really think too much about it. But, like, dude, I've tried twice to talk about a game, and I can't because my stream's like, oh! There's something wrong with my internet. And I don't know what. And I don't know what. Shouldn't be disconnecting at all, but we, you know, whatever. So, and my fucking thing's just gonna constantly run ads because it's like, hey, you know, you are starting a new stream, so here comes another, like, batch of ads. It's like, no, stop. So do I continue, or what do I do? I'm gonna do it again. Ready for this? Ready for this? You ready? Ready? Keep in mind, if this happens again, it's not on purpose. If I do this again, it is not on purpose. Let's talk Atlanta. Let's talk Houston. Let's talk about this game, all right? Because again, it was another one of these games where I had to watch a little closely because the Texans being in the AFC South. I kind of wanted to watch this game because I also have a friend who was a fan of the Houston Texans. I don't know how we're still friends, to be honest, because we've had a lot of rivalries. Okay, heated debates and some heated shit that goes down because of our friendship. But all right. This was a game that was not offensively great until the second half. Okay? There was a touchdown scored in the first quarter, but that was it until the fourth quarter. There was nothing in terms of scoring other than ball kicking. So, hey, if you're a soccer fan, at least there's some scoring here when people are kicking the goddamn ball. But each drive necessarily felt like either a 3-and-out or a field goal. It was no in between, really. Okay. CJ Stroud probably had one of his not the greatest games, but in terms of like, numbers, overall numbers. But, you look at the fact that he has not thrown an interception all year this year. He has still around, on average, like 290 to 300 yards of passing every game. He's still up there. He's not a terrible QB at all, especially in the sense that he is a rookie QB in a team that is not at all fit with weapons. But he's making weapons with what he has. CJ Stroud's he's not that bad of a QB. Fun fact. Okay. Desmond Ridder played one of his best games of his young career, which is a bit surprising because I didn't really think he was going to play that well. He actually played better than Stroud. He played Ridder these last couple of weeks as the Atlanta QB has been probably one of the not so greatest QBs of this season. He has not shown any level of talent that Atlanta fans have been wanting to see. Okay. Ritter's not been great. He's not the worst, but he's also just not good at all. And Atlanta is stuck with him for a while, okay? And he played better than a QB that has not thrown an interception at all this year, and he's played better than a QB who was taken second overall. He's playing well. He is playing well. I'm talking about CJ Stroud. He's playing pretty fucking well for being second overall. Okay. Again, not the worst. But this game, he was outplayed by Desmond Ridder. So, I guess take that for what you will. I don't know. I think CJ Stroud will probably be rookie of the year, maybe. Now, there's a lot of contenders for rookie of the year, but in terms of quarterbacks, he's probably one of the best QBs out of the rookie class. At least in my eyes. Next game up. My game. I'm going to talk about this game right here because this is my favorite team. And I have lots to talk about, and I hope I can talk all about this without being cut off once or twice by my fucking ISP. Because if my fucking internet decides to disconnect me one more time, I am going to have some... I don't know what I can do about it. I can't do anything about it, to be honest. Anyways, Tennessee, Indianapolis. Okay. Give it a second. Because, just in case. Okay. I thought we were going to lose this game, especially after what happened in the second quarter. Okay. When the Titans took the lead with barely 3 minutes left in the first quarter, I thought this game was going to be a slow start, but a terrible ending for us. Like, it is going to be us being blown out by the end of the game, because Tannehill looked halfway decent, especially when he was connecting with DeAndre Hopkins, who is one of the most terrifying receivers I've ever had to deal with in my lifetime. Like, I have nightmares about him because he's terrorized me for a good majority of my time being a Colts fan. He never seems to... He never seems to get out of the way. He's always with an AFC South team, and it's never the fucking Colts. Anyways. So. I thought Tannehill looked great. Okay. He played halfway decent for the team that he's playing for. He doesn't have a whole lot of weapons on offense, or at least Not really. I mean, Derrick Henry. Hey, Derrick Henry. Do y'all remember? Does any NFL fan remember when Derrick Henry used to terrorize offenses left, right, and center? Move the fuck over, because here comes Zach Moss, of all people, coming in and just... The one thing that I hate more about the... I can't even process this, man. I can't process it. I just can't. I genuinely cannot process this at all. Okay? I don't know what to do. Okay? I am sitting here right now after hard resetting my internet, hard restarting my computer. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous by somebody. There's no reason for me to have this much internet issues. There's no reason for me to be having this much problems when it comes to just trying to stream. Because like the last couple of weeks have just been nothing but this. Just nothing but problems. Whenever I've tried to stream. Anytime I try to stream, I just end up at some point having to call it early. Because my internet decides to take a shit midway through it. I just can't deal with it. I don't know. I know that there's going to be some fucking changes that need to happen here sometime soon. Because it is ridiculous how I cannot stream. Especially at a consistent rate. I feel great when I stream, okay? I love streaming, and I have never felt this good when it comes to streaming. I've enjoyed streaming probably more than I've ever had. Like, I have never, like, felt more motivated, more confident, and more just eager to get a stream going. I've never felt this way before, and I've been wanting to, you know, make sure that this doesn't change. But the one thing that has not changed between my 2 years of streaming, is the fact that my internet will just sometimes just not like me. And constantly decide that now would be a good time to stress and fall apart and kerplunk and disconnect and oh, we have an outage in our area. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, this is just not fun. You know, constantly being all like, oh, is my internet, you know, fine? Am I doing okay? I'd go on these rambles, and I was like in the middle of just, right in the middle of just talking about, just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. I definitely feel like there's something going on right now in my internet. That it is just causing me to just be unlucky. I don't know. I cannot stream for longer than like what feels like 2 hours. Because if I do, then the internet just decides to kerplunk. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just trying to fucking... I'm just trying to stream, man. I'm just trying to stream. And I can't do that when I'm trying to, like, fucking have to deal with my internet deciding to just disconnect. My internet just keeps deciding to disconnect my and I don't know what to do. Like, I am straight up hardwired to the internet, so it is the last of my worries. I shouldn't have to worry about this stuff. Here I am. Because it's like, man, I would love to get back in the grind. I'd love to get back into what I was just getting done doing. Just talking about football, because that's what I love to do. It's what I love to do. I want to keep doing it. Every time I do it. Okay, right into it, and then bam. It's so annoying. Because, like, again, I want to stream. But the main thing stopping me from streaming is the one thing that connects my entire fucking thing, and that's the internet. I just don't know what's going on. I just don't. This is so annoying. It is so annoying. Okay. I'm gonna do it again, because I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna get back in the roll here. Just thought I'd vent out a little bit, just real quick, about this internet, because yesterday it disconnected me mid-game because it decided to have a meltdown. Today it disconnected entirely. I had to legit reset it. But I'm still here this time because I want to fucking stream. I've been wanting to do a little bit of a chit-chatty kind of stream again. Especially after yesterday. I'm like, okay, well, we'll try this again today, huh? It's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong here. I'm running all these speed tests and shit like that, and seems fine to me as soon as I start, and then as soon as I start, it's like, okay, never mind. continuing on with this game. All right. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Okay. Zach Moss pretty much won the game for the Colts. Okay. Single-handedly, in my opinion, because of the fact that he ran... Let me look at the number here. Okay. So, a couple days before the game, the Colts finally decided to sign Jonathan Taylor to an extension, one of our best running backs. They finally signed him to an extension. Okay. Which is great. Except Zach Moss decided to steal the spotlight for that, for the day, as he rushed for 2 touchdowns and 165 yards. All right. Single-handedly, once again, giving us pretty much the win, I guess. The rest was just pretty much field goals. Like, we only scored 2 touchdowns the entire day. And, yeah, the Colts only scored 2 touchdowns, and they were both Zach Moss. Everything else was the kicker doing its kicking job. But the main thing is that Anthony Richardson got hurt again. I already talked a little bit about the whole like game in depth, I guess, back yesterday before going into San Andreas. But yeah, injury is a big blow because he's going to be out for the next month and a half or so at the most. So that does suck, but it is what it is, I guess. At least it could have been worse. It could have been a whole lot worse. So there's that, I guess. He looked fine before his injury too. Like he wasn't doing terrible. I think the game would have been like halfway decent. Maybe, I don't know. Might have been more of a blowout. I couldn't tell you. Would not be able to tell you. Because that's in an alternative timeline. That's in an alternative timeline. However, this game, that's a blowout. That's what you call a blowout. My God. Yeah, Detroit single-handedly like dismantled the Panthers. But I'm not too shocked, to be honest. I really wish I wasn't shocked because, you know, Bryce Young being the young QB under center for Carolina. I thought this would have been more of a game, but no, it really wasn't. I'm not too surprised, though, because Carolina just does not have the personnel. They don't have that star power. They don't have anything. And it's showing. It's showing. I kind of saw it coming. I saw it coming. You're going to have the number 1 overall pick, but when you have Frank Reich as your head coach, you're not going anywhere. You are going to be one of the worst teams. You're going to be one of the worst teams. There's no way they're going to be successful until they get a few weapons at the very least, but they're going to need to make some changes some way, somehow. That's not the only game that was a big blowout. The other big blowout game, Miami, New York. Not shocking whatsoever. Just an absolute decimation. I mean, the only reason why New York really even has as many points as it does was because Tua actually threw a pick 6, which is one of the rarest things ever. But he threw an interception, and it resulted in 7 points. So, but the Giants didn't do shit after that. Like, on offense, the rest were field goals. Like, that was it. Tagovailoa looking strong as ever. Just absolutely continuing the domination of like their season this year. Breaking all kinds of different records and stuff like that. I don't want to say they're the best team of all time because their schedule has been really easy. And then you look at the fact that they lost to the Bills in a guess what? Dominating fashion. So the Bills kind of just showed that the Dolphins are not as good as everybody in the media says they are. Just because I got 70 points on the shitty Broncos doesn't mean really anything much, especially since it's been 5 weeks now. And yeah. So hello, Ran. Good to see you in chat. Hello, Ran. This game makes me very happy. Let me pull this up real quick. So last week, the Patriots lost 36-3, I believe it was. 37-3, I think. No. Might have been 35-3. Might have been, yeah. It was still bad for the Patriots. It didn't get any better. It didn't get any better there. The Saints absolutely went in, destroyed New England. Hey. I'm going to be on this kind of train here right now, boys. I don't think Mac Jones is a good quarterback for the Patriots, man. I'm just saying, I don't think he's good. I think he's the opposite. I mean, he's bad. Mac Jones is not good. He's really not. And people always want to say that he is good. It's just he doesn't have weapons. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. He had a chance to show it against the Saints. The Saints are not great. Like, they're not a, Super Bowl caliber team. They're just literally a, maybe playoff contender team at best. But that's if all the cards go right for them the rest of this season for the Saints. But the Patriots just fell apart. The Patriots have fallen apart. Like, they're now the team that's probably the biggest joke next to the Bears and Denver, I guess. But yeah, I'll get to Denver here in a couple minutes, hopefully, if my internet holds up. Let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do I have to talk about this game next? Oh, God. All right. So I should also point out, too, that this is only the fourth time in the past 23 years where the Patriots have lost and their final score was 0 points. It's only happened for a couple other times. Just saying. I don't really want to talk about this game. Look, the score may say 10-17, and it sounds like it was a very close game on paper. It was anything but it was no. It was probably one of the worst games I have seen in a very long time. I thought I saw a lot of bad games in the past couple of weeks. This was terrible. Like, this was just, oh my God. Like, the Ravens pulled out to a 10-3 lead at halftime, and they shit the bed in the fourth quarter. Not even in the third quarter, the fourth quarter. They gave up every other, point. And it was, I don't even know what to say. It was just a terrible game. Like, in the fourth quarter, and you think, okay, you look at 10-17, you're thinking, okay, Steelers probably got 1 field goal, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's what every sane person would think, right? No, they didn't. This is how the Steelers went in terms of scoring. Field goal in the second quarter, then in the fourth quarter, safety, so 2 points, field goal, then a touchdown, then another field goal. What the fuck? What the actual fuck, man? That's just, okay. All right. That was not good. Looking back. Steelers are trash. They are trash. And they will always be trash. With Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator. And yet, they're not going to do anything about him being... They're not going to do anything about it. They're just not. The There's even a popular video that's going around right now of Matt Canada being shown on TV having zero reaction to the touchdown that put Pittsburgh out front. Like, when Pittsburgh scored that touchdown, it showed a shot. I'm going to find it. Hold on. Hold on. I want to see if I could just strictly find... I guess it's not going to matter, is it? Let me see if this... This does not show really well. I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? I'm really not going to be able to find it in time, am I? I guess I'll have to use the fucking Pat McAfee show for this. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, there's this video rolling around, okay? And it's supposed to be, you know, like, the greatest moment of the game. Like, the Steelers really just took the lead, you know? Great fucking touchdown pass. No reaction. No reaction from him. And because it was not... Because that pass that got him that touchdown wasn't even supposed to be the right call. Like, you know, I bet he called like a fucking shitty like halfback draw or a bubble screen or some bullshit on offense that would have resulted in like a 2-yard check down or something like that. But Kenny Pickett, the quarterback, was like, hey, I think I see something that I can do differently. Changed up the play. What do you know? 41-yard pass to George Pickens, and that ended up resulting in Pittsburgh taking the lead and ultimately winning the game. I just think that's just absolutely hilarious and also just stupid that Matt Canada was like, had no reaction whatsoever to it and just decided to like, it just looks bad. It just looks bad on his end because it's like, he just had, oh my God. I hate the Steelers so much. I just hate the Steelers. And I'm so like, that game was not fun. That was not a fun game to watch. It's at this point right now where I go through these games and I don't think I'm going to really be able to talk much about them because I really didn't watch much of them at all. So, plus I'm going to just try and just skim over them as much as I can to get to some of the hot takes that I saw. So I can quickly get over that and not have to, you know, worry about this stream feeling like I've missed out on something because of the goddamn internet. So, Bengals beat the Cardinals, Arizona, and I guess I shouldn't be too shocked. I'm a little bit more shocked that Burrow actually threw for more than 200 yards in a game. I'm more shocked about that than I should be because Joe Burrow's looked like fucking shit this past couple weeks. This kind of helped out a little bit. I don't know really, you know, what to say about it, I guess. Like, I think he's back. I don't know. Yeah, fuck. Here's the Philadelphia and Los Angeles game, the Rams. I don't know, I hate this goddamn shit. Alright, I'm gonna fucking switch this background music to here. There we go. Now, look at that. That won't lag, will it? I mean, it probably will, knowing me. I'm just gonna Lower the quality. Probably help if I turn up the volume just a little bit. I realized it wasn't that loud because I turned it down because I was watching that Pat McAfee clip and I was like, oh god, it's loud. I forgot that I also had to turn it up here as well. Alright, well, I'll just leave it at that, I guess. Okay, anyways. There's the Philly and Los Angeles game. Again, nothing really more that I can say about it other than Hurts looked good, and I feel stupid for benching him over Richardson. But I didn't think Richardson was going to get hurt, so I guess you couldn't really blame me. Can't blame me for that. Like, I wasn't expecting, like, Hurts to, you know, play. Well, actually, sorry. I didn't expect Richardson to get hurt before halftime, so there's that. Here's a game that I kind of want to talk a little bit more about just because of one reason, and that is because this game was not good either, despite the very high score. But the reason why it's very high scoring and stuff like that is because, like, there were so many turnovers and so many fumbles. It was kind of bad. Okay, like it was bad. And then, like, Denver had a chance to take the lead at the final, like, couple minutes. Then they fumbled the ball, and then they coughed it up. It was a stupid score, and yeah, it was not good. It was not good whatsoever. Just not. I don't know that. Not. You know what else? You know what else is also funny? So, the head coach for the New York Jets is, or I think it's the head coach. One of the personnel, I should say, for the Jets. It might be the head coach. I don't remember off the top of my head at the moment. His name is Nathaniel Hackett. He was the coach last year for the Broncos for, like, the first half of the season. Then he got cut because he was not a good head coach. So the new Broncos head coach, Sean Payton, comes in earlier this year, and he just shit-talked him. He shit-talked him at a press conference. And he was just like, yeah, he's a terrible, like, you know, he's just terrible. Like, he sucks, whatever. So Nathaniel Hackett comes out and then beats his old team in, you know, hilarious fashion. And I don't hate Nathaniel Hackett. Like, he's not the greatest, like, coach of all time or whatever, but he doesn't deserve a lot of the shit that he gets flacked for. And also, I just really despise Sean Payton because, like, he used to coach for the Saints and stuff like that, and I've never liked him as a Saints head coach. I've never liked him for a multitude of reasons that I don't want to get into at the moment because it's not really relevant at this point in time. And if I went on that tangent, my internet will probably tell me to stop forcefully. So, yeah. Then, of course, we have this game. Everybody wants to talk about the Chiefs. I'm not going to talk about the Chiefs for that long. They beat Minnesota. Whoa. Who fucking who? Yeah. Oh, why do you not like the Chiefs? Man, their fan base is getting worse and worse by the minute just because of one person and one person in particular. Moving on, let's talk about Dallas and San Francisco because I have already talked a little bit about San Francisco and Dallas already. Talked much about how I don't think Dak Prescott is a good QB, but, you know, whatever. And I also am like, yeah, so I don't think the Cowboys are really a legit team because they've played, like, very shit teams the last few weeks, especially the Patriots. Like, they only played, like, they're playing shit teams, and yet they win by a lot. And it's like, oh my god, they're going to the playoffs. And then they face a real team like the 49ers, and they get their asses blown out like yeah, I'm not even going to make an analogy. You know what I'm going to say. Just absolutely a train wreck of a game by Dallas. But what did I expect? I expected that. So I'm happy to see the 49ers be as successful as they are because they are not, you know, a team that I dislike or whatever. I like, you know, there's, like I said, I'm not much of a, like, NFC team hater because I would only really, you know, talk shit about them when they're, like, in the playoffs or whatever. And I don't know. The Colts are in the AFC division, or conference, I should say. I don't care a whole lot about the NFC conference. I like the Lions. I like the Lions. I want the Lions to be successful. I want the Lions to be good because they deserve it for all the bullshit they went through their last couple of years of, well, last couple decades rather. But so I'd like to see the Lions be a little bit more successful, and seeing them being successful this year so far, defeating Kansas City to start, hell yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty nice. Final game of the week, we have Green Bay and Las Vegas. I mean, I don't know, like, this game, I didn't really watch a lot of it, but it didn't look like it was a good game on paper either. And by the looks of it, I don't think the game ended in a great way either, for especially the last drive for the Packers. Try to drive down the field and get the go-ahead score, and Jordan Love threw an interception. He's not a good QB either. I don't think he's a good QB. I'm just gonna say that right now. I do not think. I just do not think that Jordan Love is the quarterback for. I just don't think he's good. I just don't think he's good, but I can't tell you why. I just don't know why. I just don't know. Like, I can't really pinpoint it. Jordan Love's not good as a QB and all that. So, yeah. So that ends this past week of games. Here are, I know it's very, well, not great. I might be able to fix this, though. Let me see if I can. Oh, what are you doing? Calm down. Calm down. Okay, let me fix this real quick. Let me try to get a better screenshot at least. So I can, be shown in higher quality than what it is right now. That works a little better. We'll run with that. Or we will run with that as much as I can before my internet decides to blah again. All right. So this week's upcoming games. Got Denver taking on Kansas City. God, what a shit show that's going to be Thursday night. Sunday, we have the Ravens and Titans in London again, if I remember correctly. Washington taking on the Atlanta. Minnesota taking on the Chicago. Jesus Christ, that's a terrible game. Seattle taking on Cincy. That might actually be a hell of a game, depending on who shows up that day. Good Lord. San Francisco taking on Cleveland. That's going to be a hell of a game. Maybe not. New Orleans taking on Houston, which might actually be a hell of a close game, now that I think about it. Indy taking on Jacksonville, which I assume is going to probably be a pretty close game. I don't know how high it will, like, in terms of scoring, how high scoring it's going to be, but I think that'll be a hell of a game to watch. Carolina taking on Miami. That'll be a shit show for Carolina. New England taking on Las Vegas. I don't want to think about that game. Philly taking on New York, the Jets at least. I don't know how that's going to go. Arizona taking on Los Angeles. That might actually be a pretty good game, actually, despite their terrible records each. Detroit taking on Tampa Bay. That'll actually be a hell of a game to watch. I'm actually looking forward to that game now looking at it. New York Giants taking on the Buffalo Bills. I don't fucking think that game is going to be any sort of competitive whatsoever. Then Dallas taking on Los Angeles. Dallas just has nothing but primetime games this season, now that I think about it. I will quickly, I guess I'll quickly go through and I'll highlight who I have winning each game real quick. I'd like to be wrong on some of these, but I'm just going to, highlight some of my early picks real quick. I'll talk a little bit about it here in just a second. Give me 1 minute. I'll go through some of these hot takes here in just a second, hopefully, and I'll kind of give my opinion on some of these players. Actually, another thing about it, no, let me change that pick. Okay. And then I'll save this again. This time it'll be... So, all the teams that are in highlighted yellow are the teams that I'm going to pick for this week in terms of early predictions for the games. Hopefully I'm right on some of these. The only one that I'm really kind of wanting to be wrong are the AFC South teams. So I want the Saints to win and I want the Ravens to win, but my gut is telling me otherwise because I don't think the Ravens are going to... I mean, the Ravens actually, like, if any of these games have an opportunity to prove me wrong, it's the Ravens because they look like they're starting to get going again with their offense. And if they kind of pull it off a little bit, they could overtake the Titans, but that is if they're able to get going. Like, they did not get going at all on offense against the Steelers. I want Indy to win because this Sunday's my birthday. So I would like for Indy to just pull a victory out of their asses here and just win, even if it's ugly, just because I really want them to, against Jacksonville, a team that I hate probably more than any other team, at least for this year. Friendly rivalry, at least, in a way. San Francisco's going to dominate Cleveland, to be honest. I don't see how they would keep it close. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. Like, every other pick should be self-explanatory. I would hope. So let me get a couple overreactions. Or, like, not overreaction, but just a couple hot takes. Let me get a couple hot takes here. And we'll do a little bit of... I want to do a little bit of debate, if you will. I took these off of the Pat McAfee show because he likes to do a little bit of a kind of the same thing, similar to what I want to do, but I just want to do it because I just want to debate a little bit. So we'll start off with this. Here, I got a tweet here saying that the AFC has more good teams, but the NFC has the best teams and the eventual Super Bowl winner. I don't think so. I think I actually am going to disagree with this one. Just because I like the NFC, like the Lions are pretty good, the 49ers look stout, but I don't think they're going to both win the Super Bowl. I think it's going to come down to whoever the AFC team is in the Super Bowl. It depends as well. I don't know if San Francisco faces off against Miami or Buffalo. I don't know. I would assume they probably do at some point. Let me look at the 49ers schedule real quick if I can find them. They face off against a lot of easy opponents after this, pretty much. They do not face either Miami or Buffalo, so I'll never get a chance to see beforehand how that sounds. I still don't necessarily agree with him whatsoever. Yeah, let me see what else are here. Let's see. This one right here might actually be a pretty hot take here. Let me bring this up here. Alright, this one says that the Jets have the best running back in Breece Hall. I could somewhat agree here because Breece Hall is a hell of a player. Breece Hall is a fucking beast, okay? Champ of a player. Gotta love him. Like, he is a hell of a player. A lot of potential, and I definitely can agree on some hands here. But there's a couple other cases that I could open up here for best running back right now. I would say Achan from the Dolphins has to obviously be up there, at least top of the list here, because like he is really quick. Okay, he has been really quick, and he's been like absolutely tearing it up. Okay, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, we look at the fact that he has 7 touchdowns, and it's not super surprising to see him on top of the list in terms of like yards too. Like there's a couple here that I want to go over real quick. Okay, so Achan, McCaffrey, Zach Moss, those 3 they have a reasonable like reason to also be mentioned in the same breath as Breece Hall being one of the better running backs of this season at the very least, just because they have been incredibly dominant. Okay, Zach Moss especially, like in against the Titans, he just demolished the entire defense. Like Zach Moss made Derrick Henry look completely irrelevant. Okay, regardless of what people think. I don't think, for my hot take, I don't think Derrick Henry's a good running back. I just don't think he is, because he has not shown it to me at all. He's not like the worst, but like everybody's like, oh my god, you know, here comes King Henry to like, you know, stiff arm everybody to hell and back, and he'll run through defenses. It's like, dude, like the Colts' defense is not great, but they made they stopped him. They stopped him. And they made him pay for it a lot. So I wouldn't say Breece Hall is the best, but he's up there. Like, I would say easily top 5, if not top 10 in terms of this season so far, just because of how good he is. Travis Etienne, I guess I will say this. Travis Etienne is a very underrated I'd say Travis Etienne's a very underrated running back. Like, I don't want to talk all this shit talk about Jacksonville without kind of like being all like, okay, well, you know, they got this and they got that. Like, Travis Etienne's one of the best running backs Jacksonville's really had in the last, like, I don't know, like, ever? Would I say ever? I don't know. Like, no, actually, there's a case for that. You got Jones-Drew, and then you had, was it Jones? No, sorry. Jones-Drew and, oh crap, I can't remember the other one off the top of my head, but there's like several that were like really fucking good, but Travis Etienne's getting up there. He's getting up there. But speaking of an AFC South team, I might as well talk about this because I kind of want to talk about this after seeing this. So this person states that Minshew, who's our backup, is not going to Jesus Christ, I can't even read that word. Reinvent the Colts. Like, I don't know. Like, listen, I don't want to say Minshew is going to take the Colts single-handedly to the playoffs because, you know, he's never really been a great QB, like, starter-wise. That's why he's always been a backup. Like, Gardner Minshew, when you look at his stats in terms of starting, he was not really great. But he wasn't really bad either. He was just, you know, run-of-the-mill, if you will. Like, he was just, like, kind of there, just existing on a team, but he wasn't really doing spectacular things like taking them to the playoffs or whatever. Like, he's doing fine for being a backup on the Colts. But I will say this. He started one game against the Ravens, and then he's played half of a game against the Titans, and he looks stellar in both of those games. Like, normally when you get into a situation where your starting quarterback is done for a game, in the middle of a game, and your backup walks out there, most times the offense will fall apart to the point where you can't do anything. Like, you're just kind of, you know, you have to, like, accept the fact that it's not going to be a great game, and you gotta, you know, take the loss on the chin and then move on to the next week where you could build on your backup QB playing, if that ends up happening. If it's not a you know, like, one drive he'll be back kind of injury, you know what I'm saying? But Minshew went out there against Baltimore and he looked good. Like, he made a few mistakes, yes, but he looked good for being a backup. Then he played against the Titans when he played that second half, and he looked hella great. Like, you know, he drove the ball down the field, he played smart, and he's been, I would honestly argue he's been better than Richardson, just because of he's able to, like read, like, and I guess I shouldn't be, like, comparing it, because Minshew's been in the league for several years, and this is Richardson's first. This is just something that's going to happen with experience. kind of hard to compare the two together, but still, like, you know, Minshew is definitely a good helper. I think I said this yesterday, where Gardner Minshew being picked up in the offseason was probably the greatest thing the greatest signing the Colts have done within the last, like, forever, because of how good he's just kind of held on to the games, especially since, like, Richardson's supposed to be like, because, like, you know, with Shane Steichen being the head coach, he's designed the playbook and he's designed everything to fit Richardson's play style, which is a very much a scramble, very pocket, like, no pocket passing presence. Well, that's a lie, but he likes to scramble. He likes to run. He likes to be able to get out and scramble and just run the ball and make design runs happen more often. Minshew's not going to be able to run. He's not a very mobile quarterback, so there's that. So this one here talks about another AFC South team. Texans figure out a way to add some of CJ Stroud's previous weapons to that team. They'll be able to win 10 straight Super Bowls. I don't think this is much of an overreaction, as this might actually be a hell of a true statement, because I think CJ Stroud could easily, like, turn the Texans from a irrelevant, like, bottom of the barrel team like 5-10 years ago to, like, maybe Super Bowl potential. Because, like, the Texans this year have looked good, like, on offense. They've lost a few games because of a few heartbreaking, like, defensive plays. Not really much offensively, just defensively. Okay? Because, like, it's kind of just insane that, like, CJ's been able to, like, turn the whole team around, and he's kind of made it, like, kind of happen under the wing of all, like, media presence. Like, I don't think a whole lot of people are really talking about the fact that CJ Stroud is kind of just having himself just an absolute stellar season, to the point where he's already broken records as a passer. Like, he's thrown the ball so many times, but he has not turned the ball over once. Okay? And that's, like, and he broke, I think it was Dak Prescott's record of most amount of pass attempts before an interception. He almost had a few Sunday. He almost had a few, but he was able to luck out, and those fell incomplete. The day that it comes where he gets the interceptions, where he gets one interception, I don't know. I don't know. Just saying. It's going to be a cold day on Earth when that happens. Mostly because it'll probably be in December. I don't know. I just think that the Texans are going to be a good team if they get a few picks going their way. If they get a few weapons. If they get an opportunity to get a couple weapons out there and just kind of, like, sling the ball to a number one receiver or tight end, and be able to also get a good running game going, if they just kind of, like, pick up a few studs, CJ Stroud may actually have, like, a year that many people are going to forget about, because it's the Texans. No one saw it coming. Another Colt one here. Colts have the best 1-2 punch in the backfield. Zach Moss, Jonathan Taylor, unstoppable Anthony Richardson, Minshew Mania. I don't think that the Colts are going to make it to the Super Bowl, but I do think they have a shot to potentially make it to, I would say, the playoffs. Probably win the AFC South. I would probably say they would win the AFC South because of how, if Jacksonville could fall for the next, because, like, looking at the schedule for the Colts, they don't really have that much of, like, a terrible opponent, like on the level of, like, Super Bowl contender. They're facing off against, like, teams that are going to be, like, in the middle field of the top 32, if you will. Like, they're gonna end up like facing off against some hard teams, like Let me look real quick. Let me look at their schedule. Because I am pretty certain the Colts face... Let me see. The face-off against... let me look here. The hardest opponent I would see them facing is either the Bengals, maybe the Falcons. Like, there's like 3 games in the second half of the season where I don't see the Colts really being able to get a win out of it. Okay, maybe 4 at the most. Like, maybe I would see them losing 5 times, 6 times at the most. But I still see them potentially winning the AFC South because the Jaguars have a tougher schedule ahead of them because they're facing off against the Steelers, the 49ers, the Bengals, the Ravens, and maybe I would even put the Buccaneers up there as well. So another case of maybe 5 extra losses coming to Jacksonville. I'd say it's either going to be Jacksonville winning the AFC South or the Colts. I don't think CJ Stroud's going to take the Texans all the way, especially after losing to the Falcons, and now they're a game behind already, and they're already facing off against some pretty difficult teams in the next couple weeks. They have the Saints, then they have the Buccaneers and the Bengals, but they face off against a couple other, like, you know, like teams where it could be easy for them to make it to the championship, for the South at least, with the Broncos and the Jets and the Panthers. There's a few easy wins I see, but I don't see how... I don't see how the Colts or the Jaguars are the, like, 2 teams that make it to the... to, like, the... I don't know. It's only, like, 5... We're only, like, 5 weeks into the season. I can't really say, for the most part. I would love to be able to, like, quickly be all like, eh. Let me go for another rookie quarterback here for this next hot take, because I just saw this and I want to talk about him. Okay. So let's talk about Bryce Young real quick, if I may. Internet, if I may. So this one says here, through 5 games this first season, Bryce Young has not shown me enough to feel comfortable that he'll last 5 years as a starter. I can somewhat agree with this on the hand that it is, it definitely does feel that way. When you watch Bryce Young play, he does not look like he knows what he's doing. But I would also argue that that is because of the fact that his head coach and his lack of a team is holding him back a lot. Like, if Bryce Young went to, I would say, I mean, hell, like, if you look at the fact that Carolina had one of the greatest, like, wide receivers, like, last year, in DJ Moore. DJ Moore was a stud last year for the wide receivers. He was, like, easily one of the most talked about wide receivers because he was single-handedly carrying that team when McCaffrey left. Okay? And now that he went to Chicago, who is Bryce's number 1 target? Who can Bryce really target every like couple plays and get, you know, like 30 yards every drive? Not every play, but just like every drive. Like, he would throw to a receiver, it would be like, you know, a couple yards here and there, maybe a first down here and there. Like, Bryce Young has no weapons whatsoever, and it does not get any better when you think about the fact that his head coach is a shitty head coach, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing with the team. I do not see Bryce Young being good, not because he's not good. Bryce Young's a hell of a player. He's a talented individual, but he just cannot work well with a team that isn't prepared for him. Like, he's just not prepared for him whatsoever. Andy Dalton came in, though, and he pretty much was very competitive against the Seahawks. But, again, Andy Dalton is a very experienced quarterback. Like, it goes back to Minshew and Richardson. You can't compare those two because they're very different. Like, one's very experienced, one is not. So I just see this as being just an off year for Bryce, just because It's his rookie year. He is going to not be good whatsoever, okay? And if Bryce ends up having a terrible year next year, then maybe I would probably say different. But I don't want to say anything right now because of the fact that his team is just not good. His team is just not good. Because there's no weapons. There's just nothing. There's nobody there whatsoever. From there, let's go to the opposite side of bad. Let's go to good. So this one here, we'll talk about Brock Purdy here for a second. This one says Brock Purdy will be in the same conversation of greatness as Tom Brady, Peyton Manning before the end of Week 9. I might actually agree with this just because I have seen the 49ers play these last couple years. And they have surprised me, especially Brock Purdy, okay? And even if you can make the same like thing, like, oh, they haven't really faced off against a good team, I kind of argue differently here because, I mean, like, you look at their first 5 games, okay? They face off against the Steelers and the Rams, which those two teams are pretty, like, they're not great, but usually they would be able to hang on. And, like, out of all the 5 games that they've had so far today, or, like, this season, they've scored 30 or more on every single game. So their offense, it's not terrible. Their offense is out there. Like, they're throwing for more than 200 yards a game at the very least. Okay? They're rushing. They're always getting at least 120, and that's at the very least. You know? Their rushing attack is insanely good. Their overall offense is at least getting them 300 to 400 yards a game, which is not seen often. And again, they're scoring 30 points or more per game and allowing no more than, on average, 18 points a game. Like, they're really doing good on both sides of the ball. And a lot of it has to come from Brock Purdy, just because you can have a good team, but if your quarterback's not the greatest, your team's not going to really feel good, especially on offense. Brock Purdy puts the 49ers in great positions a lot of times, okay? And they're facing off against the Browns this week. They'll face off against the Vikings. They'll have a few top-tier opponents here soon when they face off against Seattle, Tampa Bay, Philly, okay, Baltimore. They have a couple opponents for the next couple of, not in the next couple of weeks, I'd say like in the second half of the season. That's where we'll see a lot of the ups and downs of this team. I don't want to say they'll be undefeated for a while. They might end up losing in an upset victory here in the next couple, I would say before the bye week. My hot take here for the 49ers, they're probably going to lose before the bye week, which is in 3 weeks' time. So I don't really want to, say that Brock Purdy was going to be like the greatest, because he's also not as experienced. If he could take the 49ers to the Super Bowl, okay. I would say that, because in order for Brock Purdy to be in the conversation for like greatest of all time in terms of like, they have to at least make it to the Super Bowl. Okay. Let me see if I can find another one here. Here's one about the Lions. I guess I'll talk about the Lions here real quick. There's one that's saying that the Eagles and 49ers is going to be a preview of what's to come in the NFC Championship game. I wouldn't be shocked if that's a rematch, to be honest. That would actually be a hell of a match to see, though. This one here talking about the Lions. Listen, man, the Lions are no joke this year. Like, they faced off against the Chiefs in week 1, and they fucking, like, they made them look like a chump. It's insane. Okay? Like, I never thought that I would ever see a day where the Lions are, like, really fucking good as an NFL team, but here I am. I didn't expect it, and I'm glad it's a thing, because it's insane how it's insane how, like, that team has changed over the course of, like, a couple of, like, what feels like just a year and a half. Like, they started going on a roll here, like, late last year, and they have not looked back ever since. It's insane. It's insanity. It's insanity. That's about all I could find, though, but not too much. There's some good hot takes here and there. I'd like to come back and do this here within, like, every so often and all that, but like I said before, I try to not do this too often because I know that this is not something that a lot of VTubers should do, because sports and VTubers don't mix, from my past experience. But it's nice talking about football every once in a while and just kind of getting stuff off my chest and being all like, you know, let's talk football because that's what I like to do. But I definitely enjoy it. I'll definitely, like, try and talk a little bit more here soon. I'm probably going to end the stream, like, for realsies this time and on my own accord, just because the whole internet shabacle just kind of threw me off and stuff like that. I knew I really wanted to also get back into San Andreas, but I might just end up doing San Andreas, like, tomorrow. Yeah, I may end up playing San Andreas tomorrow just because I really don't want to fucking test my internet again tonight. It might be a later start. I don't know. I might actually no. I might do an early start. I might do an earlier start. So, like, 7:30 tomorrow, just because I know that if I do it at the same time today, I'm probably gonna have an internet issue. I'll probably restart my internet, like hardcore, like, and try and see if that helps it before streaming. I don't know if that'll change anything. Probably fucking not. But I'll definitely see what I can do about my internet, because I'm sick and tired of having these issues. But I will be back probably tomorrow. Like, I don't know. I guess I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I might be back tomorrow. I might not be. It depends on how I feel. I'm going to raid Luna, because I didn't do that yesterday. I should have done it yesterday. But I'm actually going to do it now because I got, you know, the opportunity to do it. But I'll be back. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday morning. I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Take care and good night.